Here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
The wheel gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes
Swack. A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
The last 4 races. It's chase time here. And QSR has been bringing a multi-win season for the number 19. Live from the virtual Nashville Superspeedway. It's QSR Simulations. Well, that is ginormous, by the way. That is way too big. We need to scale that back. Let's dial that back a little bit. It's QSR Simulations here tonight from Nashville, and I'm your host, Bradley Cooper. Alongside me here tonight, I have Morgan Cook in the booth. And top tier with the size of that logo, but it's the DOWDY Motorsport 400. We got to see it in giant 1080p there for a second. Morgan here tonight, shaping up with the points as we'll get those up on your screen. Jeremy Burns getting 4 wins this season, and you have to go back to Kevin West with his 2 wins back in 16th, so he did not make the chase. And the top 12, after eliminations, they're separated by 40 points here coming into tonight.
That makes it easy, right? Just go out and win the rest of the races, and you're champion? Is that what I'm hearing here, Bradley?
Essentially, that's all you have to do. It's really that simple, but a little late here on the start, so we're going to go ahead and go trackside. We didn't get your grid, unfortunately. Things got broken just prior to the stream, but we're ready to go with Ronnie Joyner leading them in for the green flag. It's out, and we're live and racing from Nashville. Coming by to lead lap number 1. Joyner started on the pole. He's going to get the first one side by side with Carter Lenz and Daniel Molnix in the number 6 car. A lot of throwback schemes out here on the racetrack if you didn't notice that, Morgan. That 19 car, though, lurking back there, Jeremy Burns. He's been the dominant car with the Evernham Mayfield 19.
Yeah, he's looking pretty good here. Looks like P4 on the grid right now. And working his way forward up through this field. Just in the awe of these Gen 4 throwback cars around fairly new style Nashville Motor Speedway. Nashville Superspeedway, sorry.
Yeah, and the style of these cars really takes you back to 2005, which is kind of what they've based this all off of. You've got a few drivers that are running original schemes, but that Little Trees 45, that puts me in the mind of the NASCAR Thunder sponsorships you can get through the campaign, through the career mode. That's Tyler Harrison.
All grew up loving those games. Raced against that 19 a lot in NASCAR 06 for sure.
So the throwback schemes, that's one thing that you can put into the immersion of this league. The next part of it, the amount of clean racing. We've already well, I said that and I jinxed it. Look at that.
There's 4 of them.
And Deutscher not happy, but that's going to be our first caution of the night. Looked like the 60 of Mike Petrin. Bill Carnahan, well, he's down pit road. I think Reed Sanders was the other car. Let's go back in the instant replay and find out what exactly happened here.
If you go back on the 2 car, there was
Oh, wow,
a
this happened.
checkup coming out of 4 between the 2 and the 5. Looks like that started this checkup. Yeah, turn 4 here. There you go. Good shot.
So gets into the back of the 5, then locks it up, gets rear-ended by the 60, the 88 also involved. And that'll bring out the first yellow of the night. I seen a little check up there. I'm not sure if the 5 of was Dirk likes. He checks up just a little bit in the middle yellow 5. Gets a little bit of left front damage, a little rear end damage from that. I think these guys will be able to get this repaired good enough to get back up to speed, though. I don't think that was a bad enough crash. 23 cars here. That's a tall order.
Yeah, it'll be tough to come back through the field. This is not the easiest racetrack to pass on. It's I call 1.5 groove. You can run the bottom, obviously, and then you might be able to get your right side tires up a little bit above the normal groove, but there's not a whole lot more than that here. It'd have to be, I think, pretty sunny, pretty hot for the top groove to come in at Nashville Superspeedway.
We didn't take you through that grid, but right now there not too many positions lost or gained. Joyner, Lynn started on the front row. We had Molnix and Jeremy Burns. The top 4 has pretty much stayed the same. Tyler Harrison's up 1 position. Daryl Flanagan down 1 spot. They didn't have very many opportunities, and like you said, hard track to pass on. So in 8 laps, you're not going to really see much. It's going to take a while for these tires to wear out, and 1.33 miles around this racetrack. The current weather conditions here tonight, well, 82 degrees track temperature. It's pretty close to the air, and the sun is down here this evening, so that's only going to get cooler as the race progresses, and might make for a little bit different strategy or race line. With this dynamic track data, the only heat generated will be by the tires, so that could play an effect.
Yeah, I expect that it'll be just bottom feeding all night tonight. And if you get a run on somebody, you better take it, because you're not going to get another one. It'll be a really difficult race to pass from what I know about this racetrack, racing on it a few times. And these Gen 4 cars love to hang that right rear out. So it'll be tough to get that car in front off the line.
What's been the mindset of an Iowa Speedway? And I've always been interested as why they put Super Speedway in the name here at Nashville, because you're on the brakes. You're almost the first half of the corner, dragging that brake, trying to get the nose set, and 900 horsepower. There's no way this is a Talladega, which would kind of what the name insinuates.
Well, relative to a Nashville Fairgrounds, it is. I mean, that's a tiny little bull ring, a little half-mile track, but this is definitely a super speedway compared to that, where your speeds are probably double, triple going into the corner, which you get at Nashville Fairgrounds. But this is a big concrete racetrack. This is the longest concrete racetrack on any NASCAR circuit. So a little different challenge there too. You get some interesting feeling through the wheel with these tires that just bounce like basketballs.
So it beat Dover by 1/3 of a mile, you're saying?
That's right. That's right. It did.
Well, there you go. So that's why the name Super Speedway is in existence, and I would have to venture to say that as this race progresses, you're going to see speeds below 140 miles per hour to try to take these corners. Just not a lot of banking here. It's somewhere around 12 degrees. It's going to be tough to get the nose set, and these these Gen 4 cars just don't have the aero, and you're not going fast enough for that to come into effect. But here we go, back racing for the second time tonight on lap number 8, coming on number 9. Green flag is out. We're back underway. So what you're talking about with that run, the 6 car tried it earlier before that caution. He's trying it again inside of Carter Lynn's. And Lynn's really close to the outside wall. He's going to brush it back there and loses that spot now. 45 to the inside. He's peeking past the 19 of Burns. That 3-car looks like he's overdriving the entries a little bit.
You have to be careful here and save tires. I mean, these cars are so aggressive with the rear drive and just how much horsepower they have, and a little aero like you mentioned. And if you start overdriving it, you're just going to get looser and looser and looser when you finally stab the throttle to make it turn. So you got to back that corner up a little bit, or else you're going to find yourself in a world of hurt in, say, 20 laps from now.
So plenty of time left to figure it out. And off of turn 2, the 6 starting to put the pressure on Joyner, who's led every single lap so far. Racing going on a little bit deeper in the back here. At the 00 of Reveille on the inside of Austin Ward. This is for the top 10. And Ward almost tags the wall out of 2, but looks like he's going to get away with a clean pass and a brush with the wall in the 1. Must be a deceitful entry into 1. I've seen quite a few guys doing that.
One thing that people don't give this car credit for is how far the right rear sticks out. So in the next gen car, you can get right up against the wall and the car's parallel, so you know you're not going to hit it. But with this Gen 4 car, you get a little bit closer to the wall than you may want, and you brush the right rear, and it drives you up the wall into the corner. Just something that these guys will have to get over and deal with. Maybe get a few feet away from the wall into the corners.
So that staggered rear end, part of the reason that drivers miss this car is because it turns so well. The mechanical grip, the way that they had these cars set up. Resurgence here on the inside, back to the bottom. 22 is going to try to pass Reveille back at the line. He gets it. It doesn't have him clear into 1. And this is probably the closest battle we have on the racetrack currently. These guys still trying to settle it for the top 10. Back here with Quentin Stewart peeking to the inside. This is for 12th. He's going to make quick work of the 91 of Hernandez, and now moving to the inside of Reveille. A few of these drivers struggling. Down 4 spots for Stewart. He's gaining them back slowly here. Up 8 positions for Andrew Allen, and that's the second place points just behind this. It's number 8 of Andrew Allen. He's peeking on the bumper of Hernandez. And somehow ends up on the outside, and now the 12 of Brooks Potts is going to go by. It seems like if you allow anybody that inside line, you're going to get freight trained. Everybody just follows suit. As soon as that opens up and they find a hole, everyone goes for it.
Yeah, you should be able to battle on the top like the 8 car is right here. I thought he was going to get the run off the corner.
He is,
that wall. Because the wall's going to get loose here, but you can probably maintain on the top, but it's going to be hard to make forward progress just because you can turn so well on the bottom. That's usually the problem here is the car gets tight and won't turn.
Right.
Very much not the case in this car.
Yeah, they're going to have to be careful because, like you said, that offset on the right rear, right front tire is probably going to start heating up. It's probably already hot. And you can see it right there, brush with the wall.
That big wiggle in the center.
You get stuck up there on that outside battling with these guys, you got to be very careful with that. That could be race ending because that guy on your inside, if he pushes up the 2, Deutscher actually gets loose on the apron, tags it up for a moment there, and the 8. So we got 2 beer cars going at it.
You can see how bad the 8 wants the bottom. He tried it 3-4 times on the backstretch to get behind the 2, but just couldn't quite get there. Into the wall again, hard off of turn 4. He's going to have to rein it in here a little bit, or he's going to find himself watching this race from the grandstands.
So change for the lead, though. The 6 car, while we were watching these battles back here, he gets around the 20 of Joyner and takes over, I want to say on lap 18. Well, I was wrong on that. It was lap 16. We've missed that. Be quite the rewind and the change for position, so we'll just have to stick with it for now. But new leader, Molnix. Carter Lins.
Oh, that should have been a huge caution out of turn 2. There was 4 cars on top of each other. Don't know how they stayed straight. 83 was one of them. It's like the 33 was one of them.
Oh
22.
no, the 5's going around of likes. He just locks it down in the middle of the corner and no one hits him. He lost the rear end in the entrance of 3.
Well, good work by him and everyone to not pile in. It's tough when you get these things sideways. All you can do is just lock it up. It's like the promo for a commercial.
Yeah. Let's back that up one more time here, and you can see it. I don't know. It just snaps free on him. Ah, he checks up, locks the front end.
That's part of that battle I was talking about just before that. Is they were all checked up coming down the backstretch, and yeah, the 5 just caught him at the absolute worst time. But we stay rolling.
Molnix leads them down pit road for the first pit stops of the night. 21 laps, and about 16 of them were clean and green. And here we go for the first round. I'm taking 4 here. Not going to chance it.
I'm taking 4 every time, no question.
Yeah. See everybody's right sides go up. I don't think we're going to have any 2 tire takers. Track position is important, but I don't think it's worth the gamble. And now the 6 trying to win the battle out of pit road. That was close. But the 6 car wins it, and he'll resume the lead, I think. I'll have to wait and see. Get up here on the track surface.
88 stayed out, I think.
Well, that's fitting. This is the Dowdy 400 here. He's going to get a lap led in his own sponsored race.
400. Interesting.
400. Yeah, 400. 100,
I'm
117 miles.
Doing the math here, and that doesn't quite add up. That's okay.
Well, if you convert it from freedom units,
Still
to the
not
metric
there.
system, no?
Still not there. No, still shy. 117 miles this race is. I don't know what that is in kilometers, but that's a conversion for another day.
Yeah, I asked them about that pre-race, and they said it has no correlation whatsoever.
Sounded cool.
Just go with it, yeah. Sounds great.
Love it. Love it.
So 2 cautions here tonight, 23 laps into this race. Just over a quarter of the way through it, and Austin Dowdy is going to take over the lead, but he's going to have 17-lap-old tires. I would venture to say, predictably, Daniel Molnix and Ronnie Joyner are probably going to make quick work of him here on this restart.
That'd be my guess too. It will be interesting to see, yeah, how the tires hold up. Basically, if the 88 can hang on and even salvage a top 10 out of this run, I think that'd be a big win for where he was before. I'm curious to see how this all shakes out.
And I'm pretty certain we're going to get the 1 to go here this time by. Could be wrong on that. Yeah, I think we're 1 to go this time around. 88, the 6 of Molnix, Joyner, Carter Lins, Jeremy Burns, the top 5. Tyler Harrison, Daryl Flanagan, Austin Ward, Patrick Hernandez, and Christian Ruckriegel will be the top 10. So doubling back up now. So got a lot of racing left to do. Live here on V-Speed. The first race of the chase for QSR Simulations. We didn't really get a chance to talk about the schedule in pre-race. We'll put that up on your screen now. We're going to go to Chicagoland after tonight. So next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And then Kansas and the old Atlanta. The good Atlanta from 2008. That'll wrap up the season on February 8th. And then this guy is going to be back in the car. That's what I'm looking forward to. Well, VSRL. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, that should be fun. Thursday nights, starting on the 25th of January.
So here we go. Austin Dowdy going to lead them into turn 1. Let's see what 17 laps looks like on these tires. And I'd say about 10 of them were green. It's going to be tough. Maybe some wheel spin here into the restart zone. Back underway. And already you can just see it. The power not getting to the racetrack. The 6 car on the outside going to get a good run into 1 and 2. Carter Lenz follows suit. The 88 all the way down on the bottom. He's going to struggle. He might get ran over here. He's going to have to be careful.
Oh, 3 wide into turn 3 is not the best thing on old tires.
Oh, Harris gets loose. Harrison's going to... He saves it and almost still clears the 88. That's how much of a difference these tires are. He does clear him. And now the next one in line is the 18 of Darrell Flanagan.
Well,
and somebody out wide. Yeah, he had to get out of the way. These guys are probably a good 3-4 mile an hour faster down the straightaway than he is.
Yeah, he was trying to roll the top with a lot of speed, and it just did not stick. Went straight to the fence. Didn't hit it. Settles out, and what is he here? 10th? Yeah, he's going back in a hurry.
Yeah, now the 48 of Chris Nail, Jim Featherstone. They're battling. Thankfully, that gives the 88 a little break here as they try to settle for the 11th position just behind him. The 48 car stuck up there on the outside. Now challenging a little block. I don't know that was intentional, but he's just trying to stay out of the way. He's got a peek to the inside with the 718.
Got a battle for the lead. Oh, 6 is loose out of 4, side by side.
Oh, and a big hit there. The 88 goes around, I think. Nope, that was Likes. He loses it again. And I think he's done for that one. That one's going to do it for the day of the 5. I think the one of Christopher... I'm going to butcher this name. Just not even going to attempt it.
Yeah, that was tough. That was a Pugliese? Christopher Pugliese? Best I could do. I don't know. Apologies.
I was going to say Pug, so I didn't want to say it out loud.
I always just assume French, you know, being from the Canada, but
the Canada.
It is what it is.
All right, let's rewind on the replay here and take you back. We missed it just a little bit there. I think it's another instance of him checking up, maybe locking up the front tires. Yep,
it just
he
came around and, yeah, into the fence.
I mean, that force feedback looked like it was cranked up to the max because it snapped free so fast. Unfortunately, collects the 1. I think that was the 4 that got a piece of it as well.
Looked like broke the steering on the 4. He went straight to the grass. Yeah, he's parked it too. That's a tough break.
Move on board with Reed Sanders. Oh boy. Car spinning like a top.
And then it just doesn't turn. You can see the steering wheel move, and he just got no control over it. So tough break because he didn't do anything wrong. Not a thing. Just wrong place, wrong time, and boom, caught up in someone else's mess.
So we had another change for the lead while that was going on. Carter Lenz takes it over. We cut to that battle just as he took over the lead. The 6 got really loose on the outside of 4, and Lenz able to capitalize on it just before the yellow flag comes out. And you've got Ronnie Joyner, who's fallen back to 3rd after starting on the pole, so he's down 2 spots. You got a couple decent movers. They haven't quite poked into this top 5 just yet, but Austin Ward, he's up 7 spots in 7th. You've got up 6 positions for Dowdy, but he's struggling with those older tires. I'm really surprised he hasn't brought it down pit road yet. Maybe trying to save them up the sleeve here for the end, but I don't know. Won't do you much good if you never use them, right?
You got to get there first, right? If you keep going the way that it is, he's going to get run over, taken out before he can use those tires.
Yeah, he's going to have to be careful. That's a situation where everybody around you has to be aware that you're on a different stint. They have to plan their passes accordingly because the approach speed on the entrance of the corner and the exit speed are just so much faster.
Yeah, and that's just concrete. Chews up tires, spits it out. The marbles here are pretty intense. So you definitely don't want to get too high up the track either. You get caught up in that loose rubber, but I'm hoping to see some cars come down pit road here. We will see.
No, sir. I think we're gonna...
No takers. Okay.
No takers.
No takers at all. Interesting. Interesting.
Downey stays out. Going to maintain that top 10. We'll go back green on lap 32. As we approach that halfway point, Morgan, in your opinion, this car chewing up tires quickly. Every caution that we have going to help that fuel mileage, but the main thing is tires all night. And do you chance a right side to get up here towards the front because it's been so tough to pass, or do you just take 4 every single time?
If I was going to take 2, I'd take left sides. Reason being, if you take right sides in a car that's already loose, you're just going to get looser. If you take left sides in a car that's already loose, you should tighten it up a little bit, snug it up. So I think if you need a short run to the end and you have, 10 laps on your tires, I might lean on some left sides and see if that'll get you 2 laps to the finish. But if you're not in that kind of situation, I'd say 4 all night. I wouldn't chance a track that should gamble at this racetrack in this car.
Well, let's find out if Dowdy could stay in the top 10. Let's see if Carter Lenz has anything to pull away from the 6 of Molnix. Green flag about to go back out for the 4th time tonight. And we're back underway from Nashville Superspeedway. Already side by side, 3 rows deep. These guys trying to get the positions while they can on these restarts. It's easy to do, but if you don't clear them quickly, and you see the battle starting to shape up just behind with the 19 to the 45. They've been going back and forth about pretty much since the green flag drop. They've been following each other around this place. Top 3 tightening back up. Pole sitter starting to put the pressure on the 6. But they better settle it out here with the 45 and the 19, or they're going to lose ground to them.
88's 3 wide again. Turn 3.
Ooh, he cuts off the nose of the 48, who has to back that corner up a little bit. And he runs him. Yep, there it is. That's the exit speed we were talking about.
That's right. That is right, Bradley. I don't know about that one, though. I mean, I get that the 88's on old tires, but there is no way you're making the corner when you're pointed at the turn 3 sign on the entry, and you're already on the bottom of the track. I think at that point you just got to lift and concede the corner if you're the 48. Because the 88 gets all out of shape, and around we are.
Yeah, he backed it way up, but then here sends it down to the bottom. You know that the 88's not going to get the exit because he didn't have the entry.
That's right. And he's just trying to hang on at that point. I mean, you lift there. If you're either driver, really, if you just lift there and be a little more cautious, you race to another lap. But not the case here, and that's okay.
Well, the 88 did get a little loose there, it looked like, maybe.
He did. I mean, he's also on, you said 20 lap older tires than everyone else. He's trying to rotate the center after getting an awful entry. And yeah, he just overcooked it a little bit, got loose, and slid across 48's nose, and around you go. But we're all on pit road. Bunch of takers. Except for the 3.
Except for the 3. He stays out here. Looks like Molnix comes out Tyler Harrison gonna win the battle off pit road over Jeremy Burns, so maybe a bad entry there for the 19. And the top 5 stays about the same. Donnie Joyner actually loses like 4 spots there on that one. Not 2 spots. He was in 3rd, so he falls back to 5th. But the 45 and the 19 win the battle off pit road over the 20s, so he's making this pole position a little bit harder with every lap that goes by. And he hasn't really been pushing the issue or contesting anyone. He got passed early in this race and hasn't been able to recover yet.
Yeah, we said it earlier. It's tough to pass here. I mean, you can't really run the top. It's bottom dominant, and it's difficult to get underneath somebody without moving them out of the way. And we just saw a great example what happens when the front bumper touches the rear one. It just loops the car in front of you. These bumpers don't line up at all, especially not in the corner. So to pass somebody, you're going to have to do something pretty aggressive without wrecking them. So
yeah,
good luck. 20's work cut out for him for sure to be able to pass 4 cars to get back up to the lead and bring it from the pole to the checkered flag.
So we're going to take the 1 to go signal next time by. Looking deep in this field, though, we've had a few comers and goers. Here is a guy that's up 5 positions where he began the race. It's the number 5, Ethan Wisnowski. SpongeBob-themed Lowe's Chevrolet. Another driver that's moved up quite a bit, Brooks Potts. He's up 7. And Andrew Allen up 12. He just cracked the top 10 finally. Let's see if they can all maintain this position, though, because it's been some of it through pit stops, I'm sure. It's been cycled, what, 4 times now? We've had 3 opportunities to pit, I would say.
Yeah, I agree with that. It'll be interesting to see on this restart how the 3-car can handle it, being that he has 13-lap older tires, not all those under green, obviously. But it'll be interesting to see kind of how bad the takeoff is, for 1, for any wheel spin, and 2, how much the corner speed differs on that first lap in 1 and 2 and in 3 and 4. This is a good test to see how much tires are actually worth here.
Well, I can tell you this. What we saw with the 88 car, I don't think it lasts very long. I think this is a gamble in itself, and the way these tires have chewed up all night, I don't foresee anybody having a good time if they stay out. More than 5 laps, it's just not going to be a good recipe. That's my opinion. Maybe these guys will surprise me, but I think the 6 car of Molnick's is going to make quick work of this 3, and the 45 and the 19 are going to follow suit within a lap. It's just going to be tough for the 3 car, but we're about to find out. Let's see what he's got here on this restart. Maybe he gets out to a good jump. These guys get racing, and it levels off. Into the restart zone, onto the loud pedal, and let's try to get 900 horsepower to the racetrack for the 3 of Linz. Not too bad. 6 didn't get quite the jump he got on Dowdy going into the entry. The pin down there on the bottom for the 3 car, and the 45 going to get a little loose. They're side by side off of 2. The 19 is going to clear the 45 and move up to the outside of Linz in 3.
3-car drove it deep into turn 3, trying to get alongside the 6. Be a little loose on the exit, but not a bad exit at all. They're still side by side coming to the front stretch.
And Linz, he's been on point so far. Good restart there. He's able to hang with them, and that's pretty impressive for the difference in tires. I'm looking at it right now. That's going to be an additional 3 laps that he put on him. He held his ground pretty well. Didn't fall really at all. He's probably a 10th or 2 slower, getting a little loose there off of 4. But I think he can salvage the gap growing back there outside the top 5. I think he can stay around the 5th, 6th position after this.
I'm not sure what the tire situation is in this race, if there's limited sets or how that all works. But if the 3-car can stay in the top 5, I can only imagine it's going to help him come the end of this race if there are limited tire sets. be able to put on a fresh set when everyone else can't and march up through the field.
That's barring that we have the cautions fall the right way as well, because now if we go green, he can be in a situation where he doesn't even get to use that set of tires. I jump back up here to the front because the 3 dives back to the inside for the second position on the inside of Jeremy Burns. That's your points leader coming into tonight.
The 3 cars driving it. He is so sideways. 45's on the wall behind him, in the grass, to spinning. Oh, he didn't quite save it. And caution out. We're still green. He's wrecking in turn 1. There he is. That looked like Jim Conn on the front stretch. That was wild.
Ah, no. Harrison does that.
That was not the coolest way to end that. You definitely could have kept that thing rolling. Don't have to worry about it shutting off in iRacing. But you should watch him at a turn 4, that whole front stretch. He did every trick in the book.
Well, and you can actually kind of put that on the 3 because he got loose and had to avoid it. Oh, he just didn't let it slide. Oh, man. Didn't let it slide far enough.
Right. Yeah.
That was Bill Carnahan that almost got a mouthful of the 45.
Well, this is what the 3 wanted. 6 cars. Oh, it's split decision here on pit road. Interesting. 2 cars on pit road.
So Burns comes down. The 3 of Lynn's follows suit. These guys going to be deep in the field now, though, and I mean,
I gotta think you're pitting here, banking on the long run. We're halfway through this race, officially right now. So, yeah, you take tires here and you hope that we go green the rest of the way and you march to P1 and P2.
Well, Burns just takes fuel only, so he just tops off. Now he's going to play the fuel strategy game. And he'll be in a situation tonight that maybe some of these other drivers haven't considered. Lenz comes down. He's going to have the same amount of fuel, so he'll be in with those 4 tires in a little bit better situation than Burns. But now Burns has the upper hand because he would have that extra set of tires if we are limited, and I think we are. It's really a toss-up here because of the cautions, the way they keep falling. And Morgan, we watched a race on Monday where we just couldn't figure it out. We tried to keep up with what everybody was doing, but ultimately it didn't matter. By the end of the race, it just came down to who was starting up front and who could try to get a good restart and run away.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, car balance and tire sets and all that stuff only matters so much. 19's down pit road again, so you get another top off. It really comes down to putting yourself in the right position, whether that be through pit strategy or raw pace or whatever the case is. Maybe just a little bit of luck on your side. To be in the first 2 or 3 rows on a restart with a few laps to go, nail your restart, and come across the line first. That's really all you can ask for, when you're running one of these races.
So drive the track and not the cars around you. That's essentially what you're getting at there.
Yeah, if you Darlington everywhere, you'll be reasonably successful. Don't take yourself out.
For Daniel Molnick's Joyner, Hernandez, the top 3 now. Austin Ward up 10 positions, up 13 for Potts. Flanagan in the mix there, back to 5th where he started the race tonight. Ruck Regal, Deutscher, Reveille, and Allen, the top 10. 2 cars have taken an early retirement from tonight. It'll be the number 4 of Reed Sanders and the 5 of Dirk Likes. Have parked it behind the wall, and Sanders with that heavy suspension damage is just not going to be able to finish tonight. He would have had well over 10 minutes of repair to get that car back out here on the racetrack. And at that point, here at the very small superspeedway, it would have been probably 10 plus down. Trying to salvage that day. Just move on to next week at Chicagoland.
That's right. Let's fight another day.
So we haven't really seen Hernandez up here in the top 3 yet tonight. We saw him lurking back just outside the top 5. Interested to see if the 91 has anything for these guys. Everybody up here in the top 10, and the top 15 for that matter, is all on the same stint. It's going to be a long, bumpy road for guys like Quentin Stewart, Chris Nail. And the 19's back there, Jeremy Burns. He came in and topped off a second time. So he's even deeper, back to 18th. The 45 that brought that caution out, he'll restart in the 18th position. With 5 cautions here tonight, 6 lead changes. We're getting set back to go for the 6th time this evening. iRacing pace car pulls off out of turn 4. Let's see if we can get a green flag run in. I'm not liking my camera pack here tonight. Not enjoying it.
We got a wreck in the back. It's the 3 and the 19. 2 cars are just pitted.
19 gets it back going.
And we're still rolling. That was a case of fresh tires and a loose car with full fuel on the 19 here. Looks like the 3 just gets a little bit loose. The 19 goes up a little bit, and they spin. Don't lose a ton of time, but that is going to hurt the tires a little bit. You don't want to be sliding them around.
And that's just the new tires versus old tires. You see the 88 of Dowdy move up out of the way for the 45 of Harrison. Here come the fresh tires, trying to work through this field. There's going to be an equal and opposite reaction here. If we get another caution, you know that the guys that get past for the 48 and some of the other drivers that took 4, even if they do work their way up here into the top 5, we get another yellow, everyone behind them is just going to hit pit road. And so for me, I think I'm going to try to get back on the same stint as the rest of this field. The strategy is one thing, but right now it just doesn't look like this race is going to stay green for very long with all the different tire sets out here.
Yeah, I'm always one to try something different. If you're not the leader, you're not the top 5, and you run the same strategy, all you're going to do is follow them. You haven't shown the speed to pass them. What makes you think you're going to be able to do it, later in the race? Get off strategy, try something a little different, and maybe you can leapfrog them and have a little bit of luck land in your court.
Battle for the lead heating up a little bit here. Molnix and Joyner going back at it. The pole sitter trying to figure out his way around the 6 car. Right now, the bottom feeder in the 6, Valvoline Ford. He's held on to it. Peek to the inside, getting a little air on the nose. And like I said, Joyner just not really aggressive here. He got the pole and he let these guys go. Now starting to crank it up a little bit. Lap 51 out of 88. And here tonight, looking like maybe he has a chance to take the lead back over as he goes to the outside of the 6 car into 1.
Big dive. Looks like he's going to get a nice run off the corner. He's cleared. New leader. It's 20 car.
Joyner gets back on point. After being outside the top 3 at one point, he fell back to 5th spot after the first round of pit stops we had. Austin Ward in 3rd. Patrick Hernandez, he lost a couple positions on that restart. Falls back to the 4th spot.
Single file for the top 15 right now. Everyone's trying to log laps. We have 30 or so to go. Just make it to the finish right now.
On board, and that's one thing I I tried it one time. I don't think I'll ever be able to do it. And Morgan, I don't know if you have a VR set up.
I had one at one point, but it got too hot in my apartment. You could fry an egg on it, so I switched to triples and haven't looked back.
Right there was he. I just the motion sickness for me. I don't think I can handle it, but he's doing it pretty well, sitting in the 4th position on board here with the 91 of Hernandez.
I like to see too much. I think that's it. I like to be able to see my hands.
They got that pass-through technology now. It's only a matter of time, I think, before they implement it.
Oh, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Flanagan moving up.
Sorry, 83 by the 00 here.
The race is still behind the 83. There's the 45 on fresh tires. Tyler Harrison moves to the inside of the 33 of Christian Rodrigo in a car off the racetrack. That's Deutscher. He's going to send it through here. He mitigated the damage from that. He falls back to 14th, but a wild ride. Oh, they get into, that was the 8 of Allen. He got into the side of the 5. It's actually, it's being shown as the 5.
I think it's a 21.
Well, there you go. Number mandates.
Can't scream it loud enough.
So Joyner takes over the lead, and now he's pulling away from Malnix. And this clean air has been very kind to the 20. But we're probably going to have one more pit stop here. I don't know if these drivers can make it to the very end. It's going to be tight. Well, it's not tight. That lead has stretched out to almost a full second as they exit turns 1 and 2. Austin Ward, a 1.5 seconds back. The top 3 has pretty much checked out for the rest of these cars. You got a little group here between Hernandez back to Clinton Stewart. So this is 4th through 7th. That's starting to tighten up. Let's ride on board with the number 83. He's got the runs on the entrances of these corners here. Just not able to do anything with it. He actually gets to the outside. I think Potts kind of just let him have that. He saw the good run on the entrance. But he's going to fight back into 3 and 4 and some contact
in front of him. Oh, he put him at the wall. Oh, man. 18 to 91 get together. 91 is in for it right now. Yeah, big left front damage, right front damage, sorry. Can't turn, it looks like.
He's stuck in the wall.
Yeah. That is less than ideal, folks.
Back it up on the V-Speed Instant replay. The 18 gets a big run down the backstretch here. And then right there's where it goes wrong.
That's a case of one going up, one going down. Can't really put the blame on anyone there, but yeah, 91 stuck in the wall. He's still limping around the racetrack with no right front steering. Makes the pit road safely, so no caution.
That's probably going to do it for Hernandez. He's going to end up losing some laps after that. We saw the 20 of Joyner pull out to that lead. Now it looks like that gain has slowed down a little bit. It's plateaued right around 0.8 of a second.
Don't look now, but your points leader just cracked the top 10. 19 car.
He's had to work hard, though, and he's got a little bit of right front damage. Not sure where he picked that up.
That would have been from that incident with the 3 at the beginning of this run.
Oh,
spun off in turn 1, right?
Right.
And then the 3 car is a few cars ahead of him, so they both rebounded really well here, running 8th and 10th, respectively.
Clinton Stewart, he's cracked the top 5, sitting in 4th position, up 4 spots. Austin Ward will be the next car in front of him. but he's about 2 seconds ahead of Stewart. Got a few drivers coming down pit road, but I don't know that it's any cars in the lead lap. Might be some guys trying to get some damage repair. That's the 92 of Carnahan. He's gonna come down. Looks like he has a little bit of right side damage. Tell you, I'm a little bit off here tonight, Morgan. I got kind of a late start. Things just a little out of whack for me. What do you say we find those volume knobs here on that smart device or on that television? Find that remote. Let's turn it up here on V-Speed for a couple laps. QSR simulations. So the battles here for the top 10. Getting tight between Flanagan, Lenz, and Potts. There's 6 through 8. Then you go up here to Quentin Stewart, Tyler Harrison. They're getting tight again. Trying to chase down the 22 of Austin Ward. The 6 of Molnix is checked out. He's caught back up. He actually gets by. No, okay, so it was Molnix that got passed earlier, but he's caught back up to the 20. I'm really off point here tonight, Morgan. If you can't tell, I don't know what's going on with me, but I'm going to try to keep track. Let's lock it in here. We've got about 20 to go. We got to figure this out because the 6 car, he let the 20 pull out to almost a full second, now reels it back in the closing laps.
That's tire saving. Pushing too hard. Probably for the 20, and the 6 just doing a better job of saving the right front, saving the right rear, and we got a side-by-side battle for the lead off turn 2.
Remember, these guys joined a little bit late, and so not chase eligible, but they were able to get some great finishes there last week, and more of the same between the 6 and the 20 as they pull away from Ward. Stewart and Harrison, 3.5 back, and even after these guys got to racing for a moment there, still making up some ground over Ward in 3rd spot.
Battles all over this racetrack. Got one for 3rd, one back here for 6th, side by side for 4th. Sorry, side by side for 4th right now. 45 in the 83. You can really see those new tires show up for the 3 car, for the 19. They have worked their way up 12 and 9 positions, something like that, respectively, moving all the way through this field. So they're praying for it to keep going green. They'd also win out on the fuel mileage. The rest of the field probably would like to see another caution.
83 tagged the wall there a little bit on the backstretch. I think that's going to help the 45 get around him. But he's able to battle back on the outside. Really loose off of 4. These guys trading blows now for about 4 laps. Trying to decide this 4th place position. They're allowing Austin Ward to pull away even more. almost a full 2 seconds ahead of him now. 45 car almost gets clear out of the exit of 2, but doesn't come up, and the 83 surges back on the outside again. For every lap this goes on, the top 3 pulls away a little bit more. Looking like we're going to get this race finished under green, and Morgan, I'm excited to say that put together a decent green flag run. Looking like we're going to finish it there too. Top 10 looks like Molnix, Joyner, Ward, Harrison, Stewart, Linz, Burns, Potts, Flanagan, and Ruck-Regal. So the 33. Then we have some 3 wide there for a brief second, just out the corner of your screen. The 2 of Deutscher and Chris Nail, they're going at it. Remember, Deutscher went through the grass a moment ago. He's just trying to nurse this thing back to health.
Back up to P4, P5. The 83 and 45 are crossing each other over. All sorts of crazy stuff up here. 3 cars chasing in.
Oh, both follow each other. Yeah, they all followed each other up to the top of the exit of 4. And that's easy to do. Kind of judge your exit and entry off the guy in front of you, and if he makes a little mistake, you kind of get that tunnel vision. It's really easy to follow him up there.
It's embarrassingly easy. I think anyone who's used this sim has absolutely followed somebody into the wall. Whether in any car, whether it be a street stock or an Indy car or whatever it is, you're gonna follow that guy right up into the fence and smack it with him.
And some of that too with the dirty air, especially in this car where the aero is just a little bit tighter. That turbulence makes it a little bit easier to follow that car because you don't have that steering resistance until you get out of that wake. Front downforce starts to kick in. It gets a little bit harder to stay down, and so that car can essentially pull you up into the wall as well. Now, not the case with every car, but I'd say with this Gen 4 car with the staggered offset in the rear end, the mechanical grip, it's probably a little easier in this car.
You can't get pushed loose in this car if you're behind someone like the 3 is to the 83 right now, or the 20 and the 6. You're the second car in line, and if the car in front of you takes a little bit of a shallower exit and you get outside of them, as soon as all that air hits the nose, plants it, and if you got wheel in it, the back end steps around a little bit just from the instant downforce that you're getting. So you got to watch out for that a little bit. Not super prevalent on a track like Nashville, but somewhere, say, Texas, legacy or new, that would be a bit of a concern.
So as it all cycled through, Austin Ward is probably going to get this 3rd place podium finish. I don't know if Harrison can catch him. 1.5 seconds. They have shaved a little bit away. Look off the back end of the 22. It's looking like a possibility. But less than 10 laps to go as they cross the line. I don't know. Last time by, just a couple tenths. It's going to be close. And a lot of that, too, to be chalked up to what the 45, the 83 went side by side for how many laps? It was like 5+ almost?
Yeah, it was a long part of this run. They were side by side, crossing each other over, and it hurt the tires, makes them mad. And just, you can't roll off of the corner if you're on the bottom, you can't roll if you're on the top. It's a net negative for both cars. If you can't make that pass quickly, it's really almost not even worth trying if you can't make it happen.
So chase it down just over a second. He's trying to catch him. 7 laps to go as they cross the line. Tyler Harrison has his work cut out for him if he wants a podium here tonight. He got quite a few of them there in the regular season. I see no reason why he couldn't try to keep that streak alive. He starts to pull away from Quentin Stewart. Carter Linz, that was up here in the top 3 a moment, finds himself outside the top 5 in the closing laps, and I think that left front damage starting to show. The ill handling bad enough, but you start messing with the fenders on these cars, it gets even worse. And he's going to make a surge here for 5th spot to the outside of Quentin Stewart. Let's see if he can get the pass completed. High line, looks like it's starting to come in here in the closing laps. 5 to go when they cross the line this time.
A pretty good rebound considering he restarted 18th, his last car restarting here. He's up to P5,
well, and then
so that's
he got into with Jeremy Burns there.
That's right.
They both went off the track. You see Burns there just behind him. 5 laps now as it shows up on your ticker. These two have been going at it, though. They still haven't left each other's sight, and this has been kind of the show between the 6 and the 20. The pole sitter versus Molnick's. Joyner's had a good run, and had the 6 car not been out here tonight, he'd be on stage to win this race, but now finds himself trying to chase down and loses a little bit of time that last time by. 5/100ths of a second slower, 4/100ths of a second rather, compared to Molnick's. They're gonna get 3 to go as they cross the line. What are you doing here? Are you saving tires for that last little surge?
No, it's go time. If you're not using it all, I don't know why you aren't. You gotta be 120% right now to try and go chase down that 6 car, because you only got 3 laps left and you're a touch under 3/10 behind. So you're close enough to get the draft. You're close enough to get all the negative aero effects. So you got to make it happen right now.
You're gonna get 2 to go here, but starting to tighten up from Linz back to Burns. Quentin Stewart falls out of the top 5. The 3 car is finally able to clear him. Here comes Harrison by the 1. Christopher Hugley's, I'm going to go with that. I'm just going to say it. Man, riding the wall there for the 1. Oh, boy. I thought maybe pulling off that wall, he might come down into traffic, but these guys stay clear of him. Now opening up here for Burns. He's all over the back bumper of the 83. This is for 6th position. Works him up the racetrack and dives it down to the bottom of the exit. Looks like he's going to hold the tires and get that position.
White flag lap here. Still just about a quarter second. The 20 gets into the corner really well, but the 6 pulls him all the way down the straightaway. Got one final shot going into turn 3.
Yeah, I think that's all she wrote here for Daniel Molnick. He led the vast majority of these laps, even though your pole sitter stayed close to him. Ultimately, it comes down to your race winner, and Daniel Molnick gets the win at Nashville Superspeedway after leading 40 laps here tonight. The 20 of Joyner gets 2nd. Austin Ward comes home in 3rd. But your points contenders with Tyler Harrison, Jeremy Burns, it's going to be a little bit of a shakeup because that 40-point gap has changed everything here tonight. Finishes back in 6th.
Well, they're wrecking on the cool down lap. Oh no. The 3 and the 19 getting into it.
I tell you, they came over here last Thursday and had a very similar performance. Took Rockingham by storm and ended the win streak of Jeremy Burns, and now a new win streak starting to be created amongst this top 3. And Daniel Molnick burning it down on the front stretch.
The right rear off the ground. That was impressive.
Post-race interviews with your top 3. You're watching QSR Simulations live on V-Speed. We're going to take a quick commercial break while we round up those drivers, and we'll be back right after this.
just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
There isn't a one-size-fits-all for almost anything in life, so don't settle for a one-size-fits-all setup. Eliminate the frustration in building with an AI-powered personalized toolkit to boost you forward to victory. Optimize your setup and improve your performance over those cookie-cutter builds used by the rest of the pack. Vantage is iRacing.com's first AI setup builder. Save your time and give back to your personal life. Vantage takes any setup for any track and adjusts it specifically to your needs. Choose from over 100 cars for any paved circuit, a custom-tailored experience that's easy to understand and tested to fit any driver style. Subscriptions as low as $8.50 per month. And for a limited time, new members get a 7-day free trial with unlimited access to all Vantage has to offer. Let Orange Speed Vantage free you of the endless loop of testing and get you back on track to victory lane. Visit orangespeedvantage.ai to get started. Back here live from Nashville Superspeedway. The Dowdy Motorsport. Oh boy, we're having a hard one here tonight, I tell you what. If I could just hit the right buttons, that'd be great. Muscle memory is getting the best of me. The Dowdy Motorsport 400 here tonight has concluded its race of 88 laps. And ultimately, it came down to Daniel Molnix and Ronnie Joyner. We've caught up with some of your top finishers of the night. Couldn't find the number 20 here in the Discord, but we did catch up with your fourth place finisher. And that will be the number 45, Tyler Harrison. I think Morgan Cook's got him down there on pit road right now. Take it away.
Hey, Tyler, got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy. What's going on?
Right on. So P4 here at the Nashville Superspeedway. It's a tough race out there tonight. I saw that car sideways a lot. What were you feeling out there?
Loose, extremely loose, in every part of the racetrack. Yeah, I mean, this is just, even when we came here to do practice races, I mean, this was just such a tough track, and I've never even raced on this in any series. So to come here, I don't know what the track is made of, whether it be concrete or something, but just the
Concrete, yeah.
entire surface. Yeah, it was just a whole learning curve, just trying to figure out this track. Little Tree's Chevrolet was definitely, pretty quick as the night went on. Thankfully, we got lucky with a few cautions to kind of keep track position and not have to worry about tire wear. But yeah, it was an absolute battle with the car at the very end. I mean, I was just losing it throughout the turns, but stuck it and got a top 4 finish. And I think I was the highest chase driver for tonight. So, I mean, it's good points right there.
Yeah, points are going to help, certainly, in the championship hunt. You had a good battle with the 83 there for, what, 5, 6, 7, 8 laps? We lost track out there. How'd you feel about racing with him?
Yeah, I mean, Quentin's always good to race against, man. I mean, he's one of my teammates, and, we just have to race each other with respect, and we're all, ultimately racing for the same goal, right? So, just racing hard, racing clean, and it was definitely a fun battle, and definitely, hopefully we'll be doing it again side by side in the next track. It was cool.
Awesome. Sounds good. Well, anyone you want to thank after this fourth place performance?
Yeah, just thanks to all my typical sponsors, Mr. Detail, Evan Studios, Cars and Wings, um, Recharge Rally. Thanks to everybody at QSR, all the admins, everybody's awesome up there, and it's just, again, pretty amazing league that we put on here and are able to put on a show like this. So, just happy to be a part of this, happy to help this grow to what it is now, and hopefully keep growing and excited for the end of the season and then onwards to season 2. We got to talk about the schedule with that, but hopefully it'll be as good, if not better, than what we got going on right now.
Right on. Well, you put on a heck of a show out there. It's fun to watch. Send it back to Bradley.
I'm gonna send it to. I just gonna ask. Something break there when you slid it back up on the track there. I think it was the third caution. Something going on there, Tyler. The brake pedal or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think just brakes just stopped working. We had to fill it back up with brake fluid there, and I came back down pit road.
That's the 2005 manufacturing on the Chevrolets was known for their master cylinders going out. I think there was a recall. So,
as a Chevy Cavalier owner for 03, I can 100% confirm that
was a real thing. Yeah. But yeah, Tyler, congratulations on 4th place here tonight, and we'll see you next week at Chicagoland.
Sure thing. Thanks, guys.
So moving on now to your 2nd place, actually 3rd place finisher. We found him. So we've got Austin Ward in the number 22. And Austin, you kind of let those guys run away from you a little bit, but you kept them in check. You stayed within a reasonable margin in case they made a mistake racing each other, and you come home 3rd here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it. I downloaded the track maybe 30 minutes before the race, so I was happy with the finish. And yeah, I was just kind of sitting. I was looking behind me more than in front of me, that's for sure.
Yeah, they got to battling behind you kind of early in that run, and the 45 went side by side with Quentin Stewart, and that kind of bought you some time, in my opinion, because once the 45 cleared him, he started to shave away the time, but it was too little too late.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure what the tire differential was between some of the guys that ended up pitting. I know Tyler got in a wreck there, so I think they evened out, and maybe if there was 10 laps left there, they would have been able to catch me, but I was sitting in a pretty good spot. And yeah, like I said, I'm pretty happy with where I finished.
But after tonight, with a very ruthless concrete surface, how tough was it to keep this car maintained and just drive the track and not the people around you?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I was thinking it might have got a little more loose, but it ended up getting really tight. So yeah, you definitely did have to drive the track there at the end. But overall it wasn't terrible.
Well, 3rd place finish here tonight, and Austin, we appreciate your time. Is there anybody that you would like to shout out and thank for 3rd?
Oh yeah, all the guys, Bryant, Brooks, Daryl, they're all great guys to race with. So just shout out to those guys.
Well, outside of that, we'll see you next week when we go to Chicagoland. Some more familiar 1.5-mile racing at QSR. Appreciate your time, Austin.
Yep, thank you.
There he is, 3rd place finisher in the number 22. But finally, we're going to go down to victory lane. We have the number 6 of Daniel Molnix. And I tell you what, man, we ended the streak of the 19. You guys come over here and just start dominating. You pulled out to almost a full 3 seconds over Austin Ward. It was an even larger gap to Tyler Harrison and those guys. You were on a tear for those last 40 laps.
Yeah, it was rolling pretty good. Just trying to keep clean air. I mean, you get behind these cars in dirty air, and they're a handful. They're a handful by themselves, but especially, in dirty air. Like Ronnie, he was behind me. Well, I was behind him too, but it seemed like you could kind of get within 2 or 3 tenths of them, and the car is just going to be completely different. Tight, loose, whatever. So yeah, just trying to keep clean air, man.
We saw that run initially start when Joyner was able to get by. He pulled out to about, I'd say, 0.8 of a second, and then you just reeled him right back in. Did you start to go into conservation mode during the start of that run, knowing that he would do that?
The first couple of laps on that run, I mean, I was pushing for all I had, just trying to pretty much keep somebody right off of my bumper, you know. And I seen Ronnie got a good run to my inside, or outside rather, and yeah, when he got around me, I just kind of just followed him for a little while and waited for him to come back to me.
Well, you were able to do it, and you did it with plenty of time to spare. You led 40 laps here tonight after starting third, and you're ultimately the winner here at Nashville. Do you have anybody that you'd like to shout out while we got you up in the booth?
Thank you guys for putting this on. Every guy in this field tonight. I know there were some cautions and stuff, but I mean, these guys, they race with so much respect. You know, I've done leagues before, and sometimes it's like you it's like you show up for an argument and a race breaks out, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But these guys, you know, they go back and look at, you know, whatever happens, and they just say their side of it and leave it at that. You know, it doesn't roll over from week to week, none of that stuff. But yeah, every one of these guys in this field, just big thumbs up to all of them.
I like that analogy. The showing up for an argument, the race breaks out. That brings a few to mind, actually. So I'll keep that one in might use that one. But outside of that, Daniel, appreciate your time. Thank you for coming up here in the broadcast booth, and, you know, hook Ronnie up sometime with the Discord so we can get him up here, because I have a feeling he's going to do this again at some point before the end of the season. So see if we can get Joyner up here.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
All right. Thank you. And race winner, Daniel Molnix, in the number 6, leads the vast majority of the laps here tonight. And that takes us to our final finishing order. Let's bring that up on your screen right now. Ultimately, it was a great showdown. We had a few lead changes here tonight. 9 of them exactly, and the 5 cautions stopped about halfway. Daniel Molnix, Joyner, Austin Ward, the top 3. Tyler Harrison's going to come home in 4th. Carter Lenz gets that 5th position with Jeremy Burns, the points leader. He's going to lose a little ground to Tyler Harrison after this week. Quentin Stewart gets 7th. Daryl Flanagan in 8th. Brooks Potts 9th. And then Chris Nail is going to round out that top 10.
Rodrigo, he's starting off the hard one. He's going to finish 11th. Allen 12th. Wisnowski in 13th. Reveille in 14th. Featherstone 15th. Petrie, Petrin. Yeah, these are tough names, Bradley. Why you got to do this to me? In 16th. Dowdy 17th. Carnahan in 18th. You get that one for me. You get the last 2. Come on.
Quite sure. And you said it in Canadian, so I think you had it maybe right. But Holglease, I guess we'll go with that. I'm gonna have to get the pronunciation of that name. We got 3 more cars here to round out the field. Unfortunately, Patrick Hernandez.
Likes. Tough races for these guys. All caught up in incidents, but they had great efforts nonetheless.
Yeah, an early vacation there for all 3 of those drivers. Well, we hope you enjoyed watching tonight's broadcast. If you did, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I know we were a little off tonight. That's on me. Gonna have to sign up for some sleep apnea classes or something. I don't know what happened, but I'm just not on point tonight. But I would like to thank Adam Baker for putting together V-Speed, and I'd like to thank Morgan Cook here tonight for being a part of the broadcast here on V-Speed. Catch us next week for QSR simulations as they go racing at Chicagoland Speedway. But for everybody here at V-Speed, this is Bradley Cooper telling you to have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you tomorrow for VRX World Cup at 9 p.m. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. There isn't a one-size-fits-all for almost anything in life, so don't settle for a one-size-fits-all setup. Eliminate the frustration in building with an AI-powered personalized toolkit to boost you forward to victory. Optimize your setup and improve your performance over those cookie-cutter builds used by the rest of the pack. Vantage is iRacing.com's first AI setup builder. Save your time and give back to your personal life. Vantage takes any setup for any track and adjusts it specifically to your needs. Choose from over 100 cars for any paved circuit. A custom-tailored experience that's easy to understand and tested to fit any driver style. Subscriptions as low as $8.50 per month. And for a limited time, new members get a 7-day free trial with unlimited access to all Vantage has to offer. Let Orange Speed Vantage free you of the endless loop of testing and get you back on track to victory lane. Visit orangespeedvantage.ai to get started.
And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
Burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes
Black.
Slack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag